Press the 50-50 sugar and flour paste mix into the elliptical cavity. Use a fine-edged scraper to trim away one end of the excess paste. Smooth with your finger before turning and trimming away the rest of the excess. Always hold the scraper at a low angle, keeping pressure with your finger on the paste ahead of the scraper to stop it from being pushed out of the mould. Make sure that the paste is rubbed so it moves away from the sides of the cavity, leaving no feathery edges. Use a scriber's sharp point to check the paste is not stuck in the cavity, and then peel gently from the mould, being careful not to stretch and pull. If you are planning to make a flower cake top, trim one end of the ellipse. For cake side inserts, you will need to trim both ends and then dry curved over the side of a flower former or similar shaped surface. Lay a sausage of paste across the top of the bow and press it into the cavity. It is better to trim the bow from the centre to the bottom and then the middle out towards the top of the bow, since this is less likely to pull the paste out of the cavity. Smooth and remove. To give the bow a little shape, place a cocktail stick or a piece of sponge under each loop, leaving the tails flat. Take the curved pieces and sit them around the base of the cake, on the board so that you can work out the spacing required. Make some channels corresponding to the size of the trimmed ellipse using a sharp craft knife. Pipe some softened icing into the channels. Insert the curved paste into the holes and press into place to secure. If any of the softened icing oozes from the channel and can be seen, use a paintbrush or Dresden tool to remove and neaten. Pipe a bead of icing between the curves and add a paste bow in a stronger shade of colour. When making a flower from the dried curved ellipse, pipe some softened icing on the circular flower base. Set the trimmed edge into the softened icing and support using some small weights, e.g. flower dust tubs. Give enough time for the softened paste to dry before removing the supports. Press some paste into the mould. Do not totally fill the cavity. Leaving some space towards the top edge will produce a finer looking swag. As you can see, ease the paste towards the lower part of the swag so that it can be trimmed away, and neaten the top edge using a Dresden tool by running it along the plastic and paste to remove any feathering. Smooth and trim the excess, keeping your scraper very flat to the mould. Place the swag onto the softer side of a cell pad. Do not use near any holes if yours has any. Use a Dresden tool or silicone shaper to thin and frill at the base of the swag. Place the tip of your tool into the undulations, press gently and drag outwards to thin the paste. Mould 2 pillars and 1 curve and arrange them into an arch which looks very effective on stacked cakes. You could also use 2 curves to create a striking elliptical side design.